Hey, welcome to this edition of Road Warrior. I'm your host, Grant Roberson. Now we get behind the wheel of a long-standing vehicle. This is the 2014 Toyota Corolla. Now this is the 47th year, the 11th generation, so obviously they're doing something right. But with all that aging, it still looks youthful, still delivers economy, and we're going to dive inside and check out what it has to offer. Now the Corolla has sold about 40 million units over those decades and is one of the leading nameplates out on the road. Now what does the Corolla really deliver? And that is economy. Now it delivers decent interior comfort, but for the most part it's going to deliver that kind of economic exterior pizzazz that you see here. Now don't get me wrong, some particular models will add a little bit more sport on the wheels, a little bit of lower fascias, but for the most part you're going to kind of blend in with traffic with not a lot of heads turning. Now looking at the exterior Corolla, the first thing that's going to come to mind is that it's somewhat of a compact vehicle, but when you look at the numbers, it just doesn't translate because it's actually a little bit bigger than you think. Now by the numbers, it's 182 inches overall with a 106-inch wheelbase. Now that's compared to the Buick Regal we just test drove that measures in just a hair bigger. Now actually the wheelbase on both of those vehicles is somewhat comparable. Now what that means with this kind of stretched wheelbase is it's great interior comfort. One of the biggest shocks to me, again comparing the outside, you just don't think it's going to work on the inside. Now other numbers to think about is the ground clearance, measured in about 5.5 inches off the ground. Now this vehicle is actually riding on 15-inch wheels with that kind of fake hubcap assembly on this particular model. Now finding your comfort in this vehicle isn't that difficult. Now it has manual adjustments on this particular model, allowing you to move the seat forward and backwards. Now on the drivers, they've also added an adjustment for up and down, really kind of allowing you to get a little more vertical seating arrangement if you needed it. Now on the steering column, it is a tilt and telescope, which I of course like because it allows your steering of course to come to you, pretty much meaning you don't have to stretch out your arms. Now when you look at the exterior Corolla, you're really going to notice body color all the way around, and one thing I like that it doesn't have is chrome. It seems to cheapen most vehicles. What they've done is added just kind of black inserts and really otherwise body color. Now in this particular model, again, no kind of flares at the bottom, no lower fascias, no sporty rims. Now, that's going to be reserved for the S model. This one really being the kind of eco-friendly version, so it's going to be straightforward. Now as you sweep down the side, again the same profile maybe we've seen for decades, just a little bit of enhancements, but at the back we have a little bit of sport with the rear spoiler, and these tail lights and headlights really add a little bit more pizzazz. Now again, this comes with the old traditional key, and one thing I neglected to mention back here at the trunk area is the fact that there's no real area to put this to unlock the trunk for one, nor is there a handle that you can reach back here and just pop it up as you walk up. Either way, you're going to have the key in hand, press the remote, and let it pop up. Now once you pop this open, there's going to be decent cargo space, around about 13 cubic feet. Now again, compared to the Buick Regal we just had, again a mid-size sedan, that one actually had about 14 cubic feet. So again, we're not minimizing. Even though it looks like it on the outside, it's really delivering great comfort on the inside, great cargo volume as well. Now once you look past the profile of this vehicle, you're really going to get to the sport area of this model, and that is the front end, one of the most dramatic parts that you're going to see. Now what I really like, of course, the hood slopes down, but you've got these nice black inserts, adds a little bit of contrast to this otherwise monochromatic scheme. Now you'll see a little bit of family lines with kind of that lower fascia in the front. You'll see that on the Camry, but I really like this black insert. Really gives it a pronounced front end on an otherwise straightforward vehicle. Now look at the rest of the ergonomics on the inside of the vehicle. One thing that is really dramatic on this vehicle was the interior color choice. Now it is kind of a sand brownish and really is stark in comparison to the rest of the vehicle because inside is otherwise black. Now obviously I would subdue that on my personal choice, so obviously don't fault Corolla on that. It's up to your own opinion. Now as you sweep around to the dash, behind the steering wheel is the old traditional gauges, really with the speedometer really taken front and center with the old standard tack to the left and fuel gauges. Now there is a little bit of information down below. It's kind of just a little readout, Nothing fancy, but it gives you a little bit more information as you're on the road. Now in the center of the dash is even more spectacular with an LCD screen. Now that houses traditional radio and a few other devices on this particular model. Now there is no navigation even with that screen. Now another nice feature I like about this vehicle, even though it's really small, is that when you put this vehicle in reverse, that actually has a backup camera, giving you a little bit of a bird's eye view as you're backing up. Is it necessary on this type of vehicle? Not really, but it helps keep safety at the forefront. Now looking at the rest of the layout on this vehicle, you're going to notice the old traditional center console right between the front passengers. Now it offers a little bit of storage, but really doesn't have all those electronic connections like you're going to find on other vehicles. The only place you're going to find that is really right up front with a USB connection and kind of an auxiliary plug. Now one feature I really like on this vehicle is the old traditional glove compartment. Now on this particular model, it is ginormous, really housing anything you throw in it. Now one problem I found, of course, is it doesn't have a locking mechanism, really meaning it's really not secure. Now swinging around to the back seat, again, this is going to be the most surprising area because of that extra leg room. You're going to notice, again, about 41 inches back here. Another thing you need to look at really is the seat backs in front of you. Are they curved, and do they allow you more knee space? In this particular model, of course, they do that, curving it, allowing the knees to have a little bit more room. Something you need to consider anytime you're looking at back seat comfort. Now another nice feature on this model is really the ability to change it from passenger comfort to cargo hauler. Really do it real simple. Pull the simple lever here and it's going to tumble forward. Now the best part about that is really you don't have to worry about taking the headrest out. They're built in. Now this back seat design is kind of a 60-40 split, meaning you can put this seat down and still have passengers over there. Now the Corolla comes with two power plants, both originating from the 1.8 liter 16 valve inline 4-cylinder engine. Now one of them has the dual variable valve timing, while the other one has the Valvematic technology. Now what that basically equates to is a little bit difference in horsepower and a little bit difference in fuel economy. Now for the base engine with the dual variable valve timing, that's going to deliver 132 horses and 128 foot-pounds of torque. That's also going to get about 27 to 37 miles per gallon. Now if you go with the Valvematic technology like we have here on this particular model, that's going to deliver 140 horses and 126 foot-pounds of torque, and also get 30 to 40 miles per gallon. That does it for this edition of Road Warrior and our test drive behind the wheel of the 2014 Toyota Corolla LE Eco model. Now again, this came with the Valvematic technology, gave us a little bit more fuel economy on the road, and better yet, overall the Corolla is going to deliver great interior comfort, something that comes as a big shock when you just look at the exterior alone, because again, most people take a look at it and really think it's a compact when it just doesn't measure that way. Now again, I'd like to thank you for watching this edition of Road Warrior, and as always, keep both hands on the wheel and eyes straight ahead.